Binge the full week ad-free over at patreon.com/inspireddisorder.
What you manifest in your mind, you can bring to reality.
I Care a Lot is a movie that you can find on Netflix, which I would recommend. It's a movie that I didn't know anything about, but I heard the rumblings on the online social media rumblings of this film. It was new to Netflix, so I thought I'd check it out, and I got hooked, despite the fact that this film has no good guys in it. It's all bad guys. They're all antagonists. They're all villains. You're introduced to the main character, who is basically running a scam. Her and her girlfriend are running this scam where she is a guardian, a legal guardian for the elderly. And she will have her doctor friend basically make a recommendation to the court that one of her patients requires guardianship, either due to the loss of her ability, their ability to take care of themselves, age, dementia, whatever it is. But they target the elderly that they can make a profit off of. Elderly people that have real estate, money, just anything that they can drain the financial, use as they're parasites basically, and they're feeding off of the elderly towards the end of their life. So not a good person. Not a good person at all. This is the main character of the film. And so, and a very interesting kind of angle. I've never seen anybody. I didn't even think that something like that would be real, but the way they set this world up of crime, of how she has everything set up where she's pals with the people that run the elder care facility. She's pals with the doctors. She's got these connections to make all these things work, and it's all backed up by legal precedent. Like the fact that she can get these things from the doctor means that she can go to a court without the actual elderly person there, and the court can say, you can be this person's legal guardian because we have this information from the doctor. And without anybody ever knowing, all of a sudden, some random human who vapes, by the way, right? I just take aside all of the illegal, horrible, disgusting things that this woman is doing to these elderly people. Throughout this entire movie, she's sucking on this giant vape. Now, if you know me at all, if you ever saw my top 5 pet peeves, vaping, people who suck on those nicotine vapes and blow giant vape clouds, probably some of the most annoying douchebags on planet Earth. And this main character fits in that category of just ultimately disgusting. And just the sound of people sucking on those vapes and blowing, she's doing it throughout the whole movie. Just horrible. Like, I just have visceral hate for her. Aside from the fact that she's doing all these things to these elderly people. But she makes a mistake, right? This movie ends up being criminal versus criminal. Because she ends up, this movie, it starts basically, you kind of understand her business, what she's doing, how she's ripping these people off. And then you see it happen where she's like, she loses one, right? She loses one of her elderly clients, one of her hosts, and she needs some to fill that spot. She's got an open room. She needs to fill that spot. So she goes to the doctor, and the doctor's like, well, I got this lady, and she's kind of, showing signs of dementia, or she's showing signs that so we can make this work. I can make this work. And then you find out that old lady has connections, right? She dipped her toe into the wrong pool. She basically kidnapped the wrong old lady. So now you have this criminal woman who's taking advantage of elderly, and she's going against Peter Dinklage. Probably one of the best roles. I mean, not one of the best roles, but a great role for him. He plays the son of this elderly woman, and he's like the head of. It's very like they don't really go into detail of what he does, but you understand that he's a boss, right? He's a boss. He's in charge. Everybody's scared of him. He plays a great, scary mob boss kind of a guy, right? And this lady, she dipped her toe. She dipped her toe in the wrong pool, and now she's in, right? He tries to pay her off. He's like, "Listen, you got to let my mom go." I mean, he's doing it through his henchmen, his lawyers, and his flunkies. But she's like, because of her, as a woman, she knows how men like to take advantage and how to bully her. So because of that, she doesn't back down. And she ends up just digging herself into a deeper and deeper thing. And you realize that this criminal versus criminal. So it's like none of this movie, like if anything, I would say Dinklage and his mom are kind of the innocent bystanders in this, right? Because even though criminal, they're not following the rules either, but they didn't start this fight, right? She kidnapped his mom. So the whole time I am rooting for her to go down, right? I want them to shove that vape pen through her skull this entire movie. But yeah, it's got great. There's scenes where it's just like she keeps going and it's basically revenge, right? Because she gets threatened, things happen, and she's dead set on getting back at Peter Dinklage for whatever reason. I mean, it's like she started the fight and she keeps the fight going this entire time, which is interesting because the whole time I'm like rooting for her to get like when like things happen to her, when bad things happen to this woman, I am happy. I am happy. There's a scene where like they try to kill her, right? There's a scene where they try to kill her and like she pulls a tooth out, right? She lost, and it's like a molar. She's like, like they hurt me, and like, I lost it. No. But she takes such good care of this molar. Like there's a scene, she goes into this convenience store, she gets a thing of milk and she puts the tooth in there. She's like, it's kind of so like another aspect of this criminal that I don't like, right? Like you're involved in like ripping off, 30 families, like elderly people at once. You're a horrible person. You're vaping like crazy, but you so vain that you have to make sure you save this tooth in milk. Like it's a crazy like detail that this movie has. But yeah, like her drive to get revenge was almost like not by like, why is she doing this? Why is she keeping to do this? And maybe towards the end, because she has that drive, it does have that kind of back and forth where like Peter Dinklage fucks her situation up, but then she comes right back. So it is a back and forth, which is, I mean, I was hooked in this movie. I hated the main character. I kept just like, oh shit, she's in it now. When you find out, when like she finds out like the shit that she got herself into, that she kidnapped the wrong old lady, like it's like, oh shit, I'm rubbing my hands going, let's see it go down. Let's see her get torn apart. This little rookie going at a veteran. And she was holding her own, which was good, even though I didn't like her, didn't really care about her relationship with her partner slash, business partner slash romantic partner, didn't care. Just a horrible, like there's really nobody. I was rooting for Dinklage this whole time. I wanted him to squash her, but then, she was a worthy adversary, let's say. And then even at the end where it feels like, oh, the bad guys won, right? I'm not going to tell you who won, but I'm going to say the end is like, oh, it's like ramping up to be like, oh, like it worked out, and now like they're going to be rich beyond their wildest dreams, right? And thankfully at the very end, there's a moment of justice. There's only one person in this entire man. It's not even a main character. It's just this character, this person that is realizing that what she's doing and what she had done to his mom or grandma. I can't remember. and he's a character from the beginning of the movie, and he comes back towards the end, and it's like finally there's this moment of justice where like there's one good person in this entire movie, right? And he ends up serving up some karma, some instant karma. And I'm glad that this movie had that ending. I don't want to spoil the ending, but I'm really glad that that moment happens in the end, because watching a movie where everybody's a horrible person and to see like these horrible people succeed and get rich and get more powerful is just disgusting. Like I was gonna hate this movie. I enjoyed the ride, and I was gonna hate this movie if not for that very end. And I've heard people not agree with that. I think there's people that watch this movie and for whatever reason are rooting for her, which I do not understand. She's like, there's no redeemable aspect of her at all. Zero. And like maybe I could see like, you know, not wanting to go with the Peter Dinklage character, but you don't even know what crimes he does. He didn't even start this fight. Like you're looking at this woman who's a bully and takes advantage of elderly people. To see anybody get their comeuppance is well worth it. So overall, I enjoyed the movie. If not for the end, it would be hard to recommend it. But you know, since it ends the way it does, I really enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun ride. Interesting casting, obviously. It's mostly female characters, and then Peter Dinklage, who's a little person. You know, most of the other characters are just side characters and not even whatever. But interesting casting, interesting just story, very original type of a story. So yeah, check it out if you're looking for just kind of a crazy action-y suspense ride with just people that are easily hateable. Check out I Care a Lot on Netflix. Go support our sponsor, Station House Coffee. Give them a follow on Instagram, Station House Coffee. Go to their website, stationhousecoffee.com. That is where you get amazing coffee. Single origin, small batch, premium coffee brewed in Thetford Center, Vermont, shipped directly to you. Let them know the Ray Taylor Show sent you. Go to stationhousecoffee.com, order yourself some coffee today, and follow Station House Coffee on Instagram. New episodes of The Ray Taylor Show come out every single day. Subscribe on IGTV, YouTube, and everywhere else podcasts are found. Binge the full week ad-free over patreon.com/inspireddisorder. Buy Ray Taylor Show merch over at inspireddisorder.com, and follow the show on Instagram at Ray Taylor Show. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Peace out!